Hello guys, in this video lecture I am going to discuss the functions and advantages of GIS compared to other similar technologies which also handle geographical data. Compared to all such type of technology, what are the advantages of GIS that I will discuss here. But before that I will discuss 5 main functions that are generally performed by GIS software. In the previous lectures I already discussed what is GIS, its components are what are there, that I discussed already, and I also discussed the origin of GIS, which you may also call history of GIS. So I already tried to give you the basic idea about GIS. Now here we will discuss functions and advantages. So let's start. So there are 5 basic spatial questions which generally almost all the GIS software always give answer. Because I told you in the lecture components of GIS, there is a one essential component is there which is called software. So without this we can't do anything. So in GIS software generally provide answer of 5 basic spatial questions. Okay, so for giving answer of these spatial questions, GIS software basically perform different type of functions, or you may call different types of operations. But as you know, GIS software perform several types of functions, almost 1000 different types of functions nowadays performed by almost every GIS software. But among those functions, we just try to discuss the 5 basic functions which GIS can perform, 5 basic operations GIS can perform, and to give 5 basic spatial questions answer. Okay, so let's start with the first questions, what generally GIS user ask. So the first basic question GIS user ask to the GIS software is that what exists at a particular location. So given a geographical reference, that is longitude latitude pair, or using address or using place name for a specific location, the GIS must describe the features of that location, what exists at this particular lat-long pair. For example, what exists at 88° longitude and 23° latitude, or maybe supposed to be your house address is 20D Baligon Station Road or whatever. So if you ask what exists at 20D Baligon Station Road, then GIS software will show you in this particular address which building exists. So the same way, if you ask what exists at Jaipur city, so once you ask, the GIS software will show you where is Jaipur city and it will pinpoint this particular location as per your requirement. Okay, so that's the way GIS software solve this particular question's answer. What exists at this particular location, either using lat-long pair or using address, I mean building address, house address, or using place name. Now the second question is the conditional one. Now let's see, where can specific features be found? This time, instead of asking what exists at a particular location, GIS user most of the time also ask to GIS software by provide certain type of conditions. According to his or her conditions, what they given. Based on those conditions, GIS user find the location for them, and that is called where can specific features be found. I do not know the location, I do not know the lat long address, nothing. Instead of that, I have certain conditions that I provided to the GIS software, and GIS software according to this find out the location. So as I told you, you may wish to find the districts in your state where last year rainfall is greater than 500 millimeter. So here GIS user ask this type of question by providing condition. Condition is what? Rainfall is greater than 500 millimeter. So in your state several districts are there. In which districts rainfall, last year rainfall or you may call current year rainfall, average rainfall is greater than 500 millimeter. So next time GIS software based on your condition with the help of spatial and attribute data find out the districts where rainfall is greater than 500 millimeter. Okay, so this is the second one. Okay, now we are going to the third one, that is trends or what has changed over time. For example, most of the time GIS user also ask the GIS software what was the change in land use land cover for an area over 10 years. What was the change in urban growth, or how urban growth GIS user want to measure urban growth in last 20 years, how Kolkata, this particular cities, this particular urban area growth happen. So this change if you want to perform, then if you want to map, if you want to measure, then GIS software can also do it on behalf of you. But remember that for doing this we need temporal data, or we may also call timestamp data. We need different years land use land cover data, or we may need different years urban area map, so that in different year how the urban area change, their expansion, that we can measure by GIS software. So this question, find the changes within an area over time. So the most important thing is the changes in land use land cover, changes in crime pattern, changes in biodiversity, changes in population. In such type of scenario we can ask such type of spatial question. For example, change in population during last 10 or 20 years in your country, that you want to map, that you want to measure. How in your country last 20 years, 10 years population change. So the population growth that you can present. Okay, so this one is the third one. Then come to the fourth one. What spatial relationships exist? Now, first of all, we have to know what is spatial relationship. Spatial relationship means whether one geographical feature is near to another, or they are adjacent to each other or not, whether two different types of geographical features are adjacent to each other or not. For example, district boundary and road, whether they are adjacent to each other. Those two types of geographical data are adjacent to each other or not. So those type of spatial relationship GIS software can also find out. Whether one geographical feature is contained by another geographical features. So this type of spatial relationship that can be also find out by the GIS software. For example, the scenario of lake and island, where the containment relationship happen. Whether the two geographical features are near to each other or far away. So all are example of spatial relationship. So GIS user can solve real world problems by finding the different types of spatial relationship between GIS data layers. So here GIS data layers means your district boundary, road, whether they are adjacent, your lake GIS data and the island GIS data, whether they are whether the island is contained by lake or not, whether we have shopping mall data and we have the household data, whether the shopping mall and the household are near to each other or far away. So those sort of spatial relationships can be find out by the fourth question. What spatial relationship exists? Now the fifth and the last one is there, modeling what if scenario. And the modeling what if scenario is basically the hypothetical way we can perform some sort of operations. So this is very useful. Those sort of hypothetical operation we lot of times we perform, especially for planning purpose, disaster management purpose. We perform such type of what if scenario. So why this is hypothetical is that the situation is not happen, but what happen if this situation happen, then what should be the impact? Supposed to be the cyclone was not happened, but if the severe cyclone happened, then what should be the impact on the locality? So before doing this, before happening the situation, if you measure its impact, then lot of damage you can prevent by doing such type of question. So for example, here we just show you what happened to an area's vegetation coverage if government proposed to build a new highway through this area. So what happened in this situation, you see government before developing a new highway, it is in a proposal they draft. Now if before developing this sort of highway, if government first measure how much vegetation coverage will be affected if we develop this highway, then lot of precaution they can take. So in such type of scenario, modeling what if scenario is very useful. Whether government if government is decided to create a new nuclear power plant, and you know what's the environmental hazard. So before making such type of plan, if government performs such type of what if scenario, then government can assess the impact to the common man, to the environment, so that they can take lot of steps. They may postpone this proposal, or they may develop by doing some sort of precautionary step. So these are the 5 functions, or these are the 5 spatial questions whenever we as a GIS user ask to the GIS software. GIS software on behalf of you perform certain type of functions or operations and give you answer of these questions. Okay, now in the next few slides I'm try to give you some of the example with some illustration animation so that you can get little bit of idea. So let's see, this is a we have a geographical data. This is a holding boundary. All the holding boundaries are present. So these are the geographical data. For that you provide tags. Now if you ask, once you have such type of geographical data, if you ask the GIS software what exists at 20F Baligon Station Road, so in that this is the totally abstract way I am present, it's not real. Okay, so if you ask GIS software, all these holding have a particular address, so what exists at 20F Baligon Station Road, so you provide the address and you want to know what exists in this particular address. Now GIS software show you on the map what exists at 20F Baligon Station Road. So among all those holding, this is the holding where the address is this. Not only that, it will not only show you this particular holding in highlighted way, it also show you the attribute information. Who is the owner, how much area is there, what is the assessment cost. So all such type of non-spatial information also GIS user provide to you, so that once you ask such type of question, GIS user show you the location on the map along with additional non-spatial information that will give you much more broader idea. Okay, so the next one I am showing you another one. Where can specific holdings be found? As I told you, in this question, instead of telling the GIS software the particular address, supposed to be among those holdings, if you want to buy one particular holding. But once you want to buy particular holding, you have certain condition. I mean, you have a budget, you have some certain type of choice. Now you ask the GIS software, or sorry, you provide the GIS software certain conditions, and based on this condition you want to buy certain plots or holding. So what you want among all those holdings which are residential holdings, not industrial holding, only residential holding you want to purchase, and the price less than 2 lakhs, because budget is one consideration. So now GIS software, based on your condition, find out all the holdings which satisfy both these two conditions. They must be residential and their current price is less than 2 lakhs. So we have a geographical data, holding map, and GIS software will show you among all the holdings, those 5 or 6 holdings are there, 5 holdings are there which satisfy your two conditions. So where can specific holdings be found? Where can specific features be found? Specific geographical features be found? That GIS software can find out. Now you see, in this particular geographical data that I shown in front of you, there are two types of geographical data are there. One are few locations of health center, and another one is the village boundary. So you know both are geographical data. Health center is a geographical data. Village boundary is a geographical data. Now, in this example, we show you the spatial relationship exists between health center and village boundary. Which type of spatial relationship exists? That you can easily, if you see the map, you can easily understand. Health centers are present within village boundary, or in other way we can say village boundary contain health center. So if you ask, find out all the villages that have health centers. So this is very small area, you can easily understand this village do not have, this village, this do not have any health centers. But based on their spatial relationship, whether village contain health centers or not, you can find out. All the villages that contain health centers and all those green colored villages that do not contain any health center. So here, instead of providing lat long, instead of providing any condition, based on the spatial relationship between health center geographical data and village geographical data, GIS software find out something for you. Find out something means villages that have health center facilities. Now in this particular animation I am showing you how the population of USA states changed from 1800 to 2010. This is the legend, low to high population rate. This temporal change, this trend that was measured using GIS software. So see carefully this particular animation, then you can easily understand. According to the change of year, you see the color zone was changed so that you can see how the population is changing from the year in this way. Okay, let me show you again. Sorry, this is just for you. Again, I am showing you. Okay, so exactly this way, GIS software perform change mapping. Change in population, change in land use, land cover, change in crime. Okay, in the next slide, I am going to show you the advantages of GIS compared to other similar technology. And we come with this. GIS enabled maps are more advantageous over traditional map. Traditional map means the map you found in your the paper map that you found in your wall or in school, college, everywhere. So these are the typical traditional maps. But in this traditional map, which is basically its content is static, not possible to change in this paper map. That means in a paper map you can't change the scale or size of the map. It's fixed. It's static in nature. You can't change the scale, you can't see the details view, or you can change the size of the map. Area is fixed content. And also in this paper map there is no user interaction. But using GIS software, when user will prepare map, this map will be interactive, not static. Anytime you can change the scale, size of the map. You can interact with the map by clicking this map. You get additional information. but which is not possible in case of traditional paper map that you found surrounding you. And definitely GIS technology has much more advantage over the traditional mapping software. I mean, you may call it cartographic software, because I told you that cartographic software, their ultimate goal was to prepare intelligent, good looking map. Cartographic software do not provide any emphasis on spatial analysis, but the backbone of GIS is spatial analysis, not only map making. In GIS software we can prepare map, but we can also perform different types of sophisticated GIS analysis or map analysis, which is not possible in mapping software. So this is the another advantage of GIS technology compared to cartographic technology. GIS is more advantageous over computer-aided design and drafting technology. Now in this slide I am not going to discuss elaborately regarding CAD, but just for now, CAD is another type of older technology, still very popular, and this technology can also handle geographical data similar to GIS. So GIS can handle geographical data. This old popular technology CAD, it can also handle geographical data. But GIS have certain advantages compared to CADD. I am going to discuss regarding CAD in the next slide much more elaborately. GIS is much more advantageous over the conventional database management system. D for data, B for base, M for management, S for system. Database management system, DBMS. In the conventional DBMS technology, only capable to store or only capable to handle traditional data like number, text, date, or some static picture, video, etc. Not more than that. So the conventional DBMS software is not capable to store geographical data. It's capable to store only traditional number, text, date, or some static image or video. But GIS database not only stores such type of traditional data, what DBMS can also store, GIS database is also capable to store, as you know, locational data. Capable to store traditional data, and also you can store locational data or geographical data. So according to this, whatever the advantages have DBMS, GIS database also have all such type of advantages, but along with this, GIS database is also capable to handle geographical data. So for that reason, GIS is much more powerful than conventional DBMS. GIS is also very more useful than automated mapping and facility management technology. So AMFM is one older technology, automated mapping and facility management. I'm not going to discuss much more elaborately regarding AMFM and CAD, because in the next slide I will discuss it much more elaborately. Okay, so let's jump to the CAD and AMFM technology, because both this technology, similar to GIS, can also capable to store geographical data. But they have differences with GIS. So first come with CAD technology. So the thing is that CAD technology is a much older than GIS technology. And the main goal of CAD technology is to prepare engineering, drawing and drafting purpose. So that's the ultimate goal of CAD technology. It's much more older than GIS technology. It has always been a design and drawing tool of engineering matters. Mechanical engineering drawing, civil building drawing, bridge drawing, electrical drawing, antenna drawing. So that's the main goal of CAD technology, to handle engineering matters like drawing and design. But as you know, in lot of cases engineering drawing also need geographical data. So for that reason CAD technology also can handle geographical data. It is capable to handle geographical data. Yes, it is true. CAD technology can be used to create two-dimensional drawing or three-dimensional engineering model, building model, machine model, that is possible to perform using CAD technology. I should say one very popular one software is there which implement this CAD technology, and this software name is Autodesk AutoCAD. You may hear about this particular software name. So this Autodesk AutoCAD software is basically implement this CAD technology for handle engineering, drawing, design. But GIS has specialized map making and geo-analytical capabilities compared to CAD. Although CAD can handle geographical data, but CAD do not have those sort of analytical capabilities, those sort of map making capabilities, those sort of specialized map making capabilities. Although it still handles geographical data. GIS can manage database more effectively rather than CAD technology. So in GIS we can prepare database much more efficiently, which is not possible in CAD technology. But the thing is that nowadays CAD technology also try to incorporate lot of GIS technology, because CAD technology realized that we have to improve our GIS tools. And the same way, GIS technology also realized that we also have to incorporate many more CAD matters, CAD technology. And in such a way, the differences between the CAD technology and the GIS will start to diminish, as because both technology try to incorporate others' capabilities. As I told you, GIS try to incorporate CAD capabilities, and the CAD also try to incorporate GIS capabilities nowadays. So in very near future you will see maybe all the CAD capabilities are also found in GIS software, and the same way almost all the GIS capabilities are also possible in CAD. And on that day you will see there is no differences between CAD and GIS technology. Then come automated mapping and facility management technology. It is basically subset of GIS. That means it is a lower order GIS, we can say lower order GIS, because GIS is a vast thing. GIS can be implemented in different application areas, and their subset portion is AM/FM technology. Why? Because this is only applicable for facility management purpose, not for other application areas, which is associated with public utilities like gas pipe, gas line, electrical line, water distribution line, or telecommunication line, to manage both location and attribute data regarding their physical plant, gas plant, electrical plant, water treatment plant, telecommunication plant. So for handling their related locational and attribute data, AM/FM technology mainly considered. So this is basically one particular application oriented utility management, not for transportation, not for environmental monitoring. But as you know, GIS can be used for facility management, GIS can be used for utility purpose, and also for other application sector like environment, transport, real estate, health sector. So for that reason, this is a subset of GIS. It's not a full-fledged GIS. It's only concentrate on utility management. But nowadays, in GIS software, you can handle all types of utility management work. You can smoothly run one utility management, all the capabilities in GIS software. Okay, so this is little bit of older one, and nowadays very rare utility organization use AM/FM technology, because nowadays, as I told you, GIS can handle all types of utility management along with other application purpose. Okay, so that can be thought as a lower order GIS does not have all the capabilities of GIS. So that's all for this particular lecture, function and advantages of GIS. Okay, in the next slide, in the next lecture, we will discuss many more additional features regarding GIS. Thank you.